Hi guys and welcome to my channel. It's SoniaVerardo here from trendscollection.com, fashion, beauty, lifestyle and mom related blog. I paused there for a minute because my little son is right over there and he just woke up right now, so I don't know if I can continue with this video. I will have to stop for a minute and continue later on. Anyway, let me keep talking and we will see. In my today's video, I wanted to talk about my milkshake, beba, mas fazer trema, He just had his meal, his breakfast. My little man is awake now. He's right here in his little yard playing. So hopefully I can make this video happen, we will see. So I wanted to talk about my postpartum. It's one of those videos, pregnancy mom related, that I wanted to do a while ago, but I just never had time to do it before. My labor experience was just beautiful, really. It was all I ever hoped for and even more. I still feel extremely grateful and just lucky that I had such a beautiful childbirth experience. I was so worried and so preoccupied that things would go wrong, that I would suffer tremendously. I heard so many horror stories of people around me, surrounding me, even from my own mom, and I heard how childbirth is super painful, you just cannot endure it if you don't take epidural. Even obstetrician in one hospital that I went to see, she told me to have my options open, because once it actually comes to the pain of childbirth, like everybody asked for epidural. But this is the reason why I decided not to go in that hospital, because I really wanted and was hoping for a completely natural childbirth. And the hospital where I gave birth is actually one of those places that won't give you epidural and won't give cesarean section if it's not really necessary. So I did a whole video about my childbirth. It was, as I said, beautiful experience, completely natural, non-medicated. I did not even have gas on air. I did not even give birth in water, even though maybe I hoped for it, but this didn't happen. I did not have time for it. Anyway, during my pregnancy, I was so focused and preoccupied on childbirth, on the actual labor, and I was like convinced it's something that I cannot do, that I really did not see anything past it. I just couldn't imagine myself with my baby. I could not imagine myself, you know, past my due date basically. This is how scared I was. This is how big this phobia was for me. That's how crazy was I. But after giving birth, there was a whole other series of issues that opened up, obviously. And I just wasn't prepared for that, because I was expecting that after a completely natural and quite easy childbirth, I would be like up and about in a matter of minutes, and it's just not how it went down. So basically after giving birth, I was able to walk. They did not wheel me anywhere. I was able to walk when I had to go to the bathroom and everything, but obviously everything hurt really badly, and not that much the stitches, because I did have to get stitches down there. That did not hurt that much actually. My biggest pain was actually in my lower back, in my legs. I felt broken, and I just couldn't move from one side of the bed to another, flip sides when I was laying in the bed. I couldn't even bend my legs or knees, or I couldn't get dressed or undressed without help of my hubby. It was everything extremely painful, and I had to watch every single move and every single step that I took, and I was like, ow, ow, like ouching all the way through. So that was quite unexpected for me. And everybody told me that after natural childbirth you can basically run and dance half an hour later. And when that did not happen, I was very worried that something is wrong with my body and with the whole postpartum process. That was the main issue for me, and also hemorrhoids. I used to be very shy about this topic, you know, but I'm going to speak openly because it's actually a very common problem, especially during pregnancy and after giving birth. Because if you have natural childbirth, obviously you're going through a lot, you know, there is a lot of pushing down there. And my hemorrhoids were like a horror story, guys. I never even imagined something like this could happen. They were completely out of my body. It was like horrible, and I was super worried, you know, I was so scared. I thought this would never go back to their previous shape without having to undergo some sort of surgery. So I was like, oh my god, I had like this really beautiful natural childbirth and now I will have to go under the knife because of hemorrhoids, like seriously. Obviously I could not sit, so I had to breastfeed always laying down. When my hubby was transporting us from the hospital to the house, I was like actually sitting on my thigh, not on my bum, because I couldn't. I was just very scared. If you want to, I can do a separate video on how I cured that successfully. Obviously, good diet, lots of liquids, lots of vegetable soups, and some medication for it. Green clay also was amazing, recommended by my obstetrician. But I can do a separate video if you want to hear more about this horror story and gross topic. Anyway, so those are my two biggest issues. People that were surrounding me turned out not to be such great friends. Only moms, my colleagues who are already moms, were able to understand me and were able to tell me, even though their childbirth was completely different, take your own time, you need your time for your body to heal. Other people were asking my husband, when is she going to recover? When is she thinking of recovering? Like I was faking it, you know? They made me seem like I wanted attention and that I'm not really going through some hard stuff physically. So that was really horrible because mentally I felt the luckiest I've ever been. But physically I was really a wreck, and people were trying to make it seem like I was faking, which is the worst horrible thing that I've experienced after giving birth. And those people are no longer in my life because I just don't need them. I just don't need them. They gave me so much additional stress. That's just horrible. It was so horrible because they aren't moms. They don't know how it's like, and some of them don't even have a vagina, and some of them are just way too old to remember how it's like going through childbirth. So, you know, I'm past that. It's just going to be there, left in the past. Basically I turned to the hospital staff for help, and I described them what am I feeling down there, and they checked me up and they told me that everybody is different, that I'm doing fine, and that I just take my own time to recover, that it's just normal because actually my body has been through a lot and I'm so delicate structure, so it might be because of that. 1 week after giving birth, like exactly 1 week, I had this major hemorrhage. I was super scared. I thought it's something really serious. It was like, oh my god, like, oh my god. I phoned my husband and we went to emergency. They checked me there and they told me that I had like this clog that went down. So they gave me Matergine. I believe this is how it's pronounced. It's just basically a medicine that you're supposed to take, in my case for 10 days, and it would help my uterus shrink. My colleague from work actually told me that she, after giving birth, when she went out of the hospital the third day, they went to the supermarket to do grocery shopping. Guys, I could not sit, I could not walk. For 30 days I could not go outside of the house because I was so super in pain, you know what I mean? It was just crazy. I would say more or less 40 days. Yes, it took me like 40 days to recover. After 40 days everything was easier, but those 40 days I really needed them to just, you know, stay in bed basically. Guys, I don't know if you're going to be able to concentrate on this video because he is so loud. He wants to speak now. He is 11 months, so it's going to be any day now that he's going to tell us his first words, aren't you? Yeah, I was a little bit unfortunate because I did not have anybody except for my husband to give me a hand. It was quite hard on me because I couldn't prepare meals. My hubby was at home for the first like 2 weeks, and then other 2 weeks he was like part-time, something like that, so he was present. He could give me a hand with our son and all. When he needed to be swayed and just shushed into falling asleep, I could not do that because I just could not stand up and sway him. So luckily my husband was there for those first few weeks. I think that if you have help from your family, that's priceless, like priceless. I went through this all by myself with help of my hubby. For the first 3 months we were so sleep deprived. It was just crazy, like crazy. I was just so tired. Physically, this is my story. Emotionally, it was a whole different story. Obviously, it was a roller coaster of emotions because of the hormones, and you cry every single day a lot. But I did not cry because of like baby blues or sadness, but I cried because of this incredible happiness that I was feeling, and I still am. I can still cry because of those emotions. I was just so extremely happy that I gave birth to my son in this awesome way. Like, my childbirth was amazing. I was so thrilled, so emotional. I was crying tears of joy and happiness, and my happiness was just too much to handle. I had to cry. That was just completely and utterly crazy. I never experienced anything like this in the entire life. Because during my whole pregnancy I was like doubting myself, will I be a good mom? Is this going to be for me, this whole journey, you know? Because I decided to have kids very late on. Basically, I became pregnant when I was 34, I gave birth when I was 35. I had a lot of doubts and worries, but guys, after I gave birth and after I realized, after I felt this happiness of what it's like to be a mom, what it's like to have this child, to bring this little human into the world, I just couldn't handle my happiness. I was crying tears of joy every single day, all day long, and I was just trying to explain this to my hubby, and he was like, oh my god, like, you are out of your mind. Like, I really do feel that I changed so much. My obstetrician actually told us that in a way, when we give birth, a part of us dies and now we are a mom, like a whole new life is in front of us. I really feel that way. I just can't remember my old self, you know, and when I do, I'm like, oh my god. I mean, I don't have any regrets because, let's face it, all these life choices made me the person who I am today. But I really do feel that I am a different person now, because if I remember things that I was thinking or saying before giving birth, now I do completely opposite things, you know. I really put my son first, and he's like my main like everything. And I am really happy and I really want to do that. I do that with all my heart.